Hello and welcome back to another video from Van to Life. Today we're going to plumb in our SMEV sink. So what we got here is some waste pipe. I think we've got 5 meters of it, 1 inch waste pipe. And out of that we're going to make, we don't have a trap, so out of that we're going to make a built-in kind of trap. We'll show you how to do that in the video as well. We have the waste, or the little pump tap as well. That just works on a switch here. There's a submersible pump which we're going to put into the tank, and just a little on-off switch there, and it drops down so that you can fold down your lid on the SMEV cooker. And some 10mm water pipe, and we've got 2 tanks, one for grey water and one for fresh water. That's pretty much it. That's what we have, and we're going to bag it into the van today. We'll show you how to do it. Right, well, first thing you have to think of when you're putting in your water tanks is where they're going to go. We have already kind of figured out in our van where we're going to put them. We're going to put them right in the back. That's the first thing. And then I suppose with regards to where you're going to put the tanks, the length of hose you're going to need to plumb your wastewater and your fresh water to your tap. So that's another thing you have to think about as well. So what length of hose you need to buy. We got 5 meters of each. It's just enough, for pretty much perfect for what we need, our own application here. And another thing you're going to have to think about is wiring. So you're going to have your submersible pump in your tank. So you're going to have enough flex or wire to go from your pump in your tank to your tap as well. So that's another thing you have to think about when you're getting your stuff. The length of flex you're going to need. So that's one thing that you're going to have to think about. Location of your tanks with regard to your tap, and the length of hose and pipe and cable that you're going to need.
That's 5 things you have to think of.
What did I say?
One thing.
One thing. Well, one
big thing.
Brackets. One thing. Five sub things.
Yeah, subheadings.
Right.
All right.
So
how are we going to plumb these tanks? What's the idea?
Well, these particular tanks, you have 2 entries in it. We have decided not to use. Well, if you were to plumb your tanks in down flat like that, you have your entrance in the top here. We've decided not to use this one, so we're going to seal this one good and tight. Use a bit of German, and we're going to use this entrance here. So with this, I'll take this as the waste. So with the waste, all you need is your inch waste pipe to go into that. So we're going to have to bore a hole here and fit that in. We also have to take into account that it's a screw cap, so we're going to have to kind of engineer some way of keeping this in while you're screwing it off, or yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So we're going to have to put that in there and probably leave it in maybe 2 or 3 inches in. So that's all you need to think about with your grey water. But with the fresh water tank, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Not too much, but just a couple of little things that we're going to have to think about. You not only have a hole for your fresh water pipe, which is a 10mm pipe, your cap.
And we're going to go through the top, are we?
Yes, we are. So scrap all of that. We're going to go through the top. Well, that's one way of doing it. Listen, it's fine. It's fine. But what we're going to do is we're going to come in through the top. So we're going to put our holes up here, just to kind of negate all of that kind of messiness of trying to screw off the cap with winding your hose and your cable and all the rest of it. So we're going to go through the top here. We're going to fish the hose out through the cap. We're going to do all our plumbing. We're going to connect up our pump to that. Here, I'll take this out of the bag and give you a look at what we want to do. So we're going to come out through the top, fish it out through the hole. We're going to connect on our hose. This is going to have to be heated with maybe hot water or something to get it more pliable, and get that onto there. And we're going to tape our wire back onto our hose a good bit, and then pull it, fish it all back out through, and then drop it down. And then you'll have out your hole here, you'll have your cable and your hose coming out, and then we'll be able to do our we'll run this back to the sink, and we'll be able to wire this up after that. So that's what we're going to do in theory, and let's just get to it. Done. So something that you're going to come up against is trying to get the pipe over the little kind of collar, the little sleeve. So what Enda's gone doing there now is gone in boiling the kettle, so to get some boiling hot water, and we'll just soften this up a little bit with hot water, and then it should be able to slip right on. Just like that.
You need a cup of hot water to melt down the end of the pipe. Tell me what you're at.
Right, so at the moment I'm just going to put in this little, what is it, a 2x2 planed bit of timber, just to secure it, so it won't be sliding around the place. I don't have right now, but I will get some sort of bungee cords or bicycle cords or whatever you call them, bungee cords I think, and we'll be able to hook the two of them in and fix them in permanently. Well, not permanently, that's the whole idea, is so that you'll be able to unhook it and take them out when you're filling and emptying them. So that's what this is now. So I'll just stick in a couple of screws in this and affix it for now. Done. So here we have it. There's our grey water. Here's our fresh water. It fits in perfectly actually. You'd swear it was made for it, which it wasn't. They're very secure in here now, and especially when they'll be full or even half full, whatever, they'll be very well secured. And like what I said earlier, with the bungee cord, they'll be going nowhere. Right, so the next thing for us to do now is to just affix these back and send the pipes back into our kitchen area to be plumbed up. Yeah, so what I did was, what was in my head to do was try and keep it as neat as possible, because we still want to utilize this space, shelving space, so you don't want to have like your pipe coming out all the way over here, so then it's blocking. So I wanted it up against the back wall as much as I could, and to come over, you don't want it rising up, you do want to fall on it, so we can always get a little bit of a fall on it there. And it's just a matter of pushing it up onto your waste grate. And that's it. That's it. I'm happy with that. So what comes in the bag with this SMEV electrical tap, you have a little gasket which goes on first on the outside. Fish your wires in through it. I'm saying this and I'm doing it, and I'm hoping that I'm getting it right, because this is as you see it. My first time doing it. Yeah, so not quite sure what that's for. We'll leave that there. Same as usual. when you're confronted with a problem, then you revert back to the instructions. But until then, we'll just keep going until it doesn't make sense anymore. Right, so this is the backing nut, plastic backing nut. The thing with this is don't do it too tight because they're prone to failure. If you screw it up way too tight, it's going to split on you. Speaking from years of experience. Cocking up. Have it just off where you want to go. You see, the idea of this is when you have the nut hand tight up, you give it one last little tighten here using the force of this tap. So I'd have it maybe about there. You know, you have to be thinking about folding down as well and folding up. So there's the ideal kind of position for it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe about there. So what I would be doing in my own head is thinking, right, for screwing up the backing nut, I'll have it about there, and I'll start screwing my backing nut in. Get the proper thread, because you'll find it tightens up better when you have it on the right thread. There we go. Easy does it. Easy does it. There we have it.
Oh, you were supposed to crash that.
Now, right. You see, I have it up good finger tight there now, and I'm just going to tighten it back the way like this, and don't break the switch, and don't break that. Definitely is part and parcel of the idea.
So the final tightening is done from the top. And okay.
So you have a flexi on the end of this, so the same idea again. It's kind of think of, yeah, well, I'd probably clip it to there with the clips that I don't have at the moment, but I do have them in the right place. I have them at home, so maybe somewhere around there, and I'll be able to clip that up along there. So
you can feed the slack back through anyway.
You can. So what I'll do is I'll leave a little bit of slack, because I think I have it pulled fairly tight there. I'll leave a bit of slack and cut it about here. And even give myself some again.
You can always cut it off. It's quite hard to add it back on.
Yeah, exactly. Better to be looking at it than looking for it. And that's more than enough. I'll get a couple of clips on it there. Says I never.
Okay.
And then all I have to do is wire it up. So we've just completed the task. Just fitted. I think we left you when we just installed the tap. And after that then, oh no, we had all the plumbing done. It was just a matter of just connecting up the wires, and which gave us power. You'd bring power back from the battery to here, and the power from the pump, and splice the live wires, and bada bing, bring power to both here and the pump, and make this the breaker, the switch in between, this one here. So as you can see, here we have it. You can hear the pump going in the tank.
So if you want to run through the plumbing from back to front.
Yeah. So what it is, it's just a circuit, or a circuit really, same as with the wiring, the power. We have fresh water coming from our freshwater tank with the submersible pump in it, and power to the submersible pump. So when you turn on the tap, you turn on the pump. The tap is essentially a switch. You turn on the pump, which sucks water through to the tap. I can even hear my return going through here. I can hear the water returning. So the blue pipe here is your the freshwater feed to the tap. So that's coming through here, coming down here into our tap, through here, and looping up. I gave it a little bit of extra pipe just so that we can clip it here, feed it up and down, whatever. Like I said earlier, I don't have clips on me, but I'll do that when I get home. So that goes up here into your flexi pipe and up into your tap, and then from the tap at the bottom of the basin you have your grey water exiting from your sink out through your wastewater pipe. And what we did here was to prevent odours coming back up. You usually have a trap underneath your normal domestic sink at home, so we created a water airlock here just by looping the pipe around. That'll leave water constantly in that little lower part of the loop, which would create an air block from foul air coming back up through into the tap itself, or into the sink itself. So from there we have it coming in at a high point, as high as we can here, to create a little bit of a fall all the way back. Now there was a very slight fall, but a fall nonetheless, all the way back here into our grey water tank.
And we flipped the grey water tank.
We were trying to figure out the layout of these two tanks and try to figure out, well, which tank is going to be coming in and out the most. So we said the grey water tank is going to be the one that's going to be coming in and out for disposing of the grey water. When this was upright, access to the filler on the freshwater tank was non-existent really. Well, you could get at it, but it was very hard done. So what we did was we put the grey water in front, and on its side these tanks allowed either a side entrance or a top entrance, which was actually turned out to be very handy and helpful.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
That was the case. So we actually didn't use any. This is your filler here now, so it's easily accessible from the back end. He filled it from a hose, so that was the intention anyway. So this is going to be filled from a garden hose or whatever. It's not potable water, it's not drinking water, it's just water for doing the dishes and for washing your hands and whatever, like, you know. Drinking water, we'll be buying that separately in the shop ourselves, you know, which is usually the case. So that's pretty much it. So what we had to do was we had to cut the retainer. We have this little 2x2 as a retainer to keep the tanks in kind of situ when you're in transit. And as I said, I'll be putting in a bungee cord again. But as it stands, they're going nowhere, you know, unless, well, we won't even go there. That's pretty much it. That's it. That is how to fit, how to plumb your water into your SMEV sink and cooker using the SMEV electrical tap with submersible pump.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's it. That's it, guys. Listen, thank you very much for watching. Do all the like and subscribe and all the rest of it as well, if you want to, and if you don't, however. Okay, take care.